Saturday and welcome to the Connect Network TV. You are watching Major Impact on the CW. I am your host, Terry Cowser, together with my beautiful co-host, Stitches. And Aquania has off today. So, Miss Stitches, you have been busy. How is your day so far? From TED Talk to the airwaves, what is going on, Queen?
Oh, I appreciate you, and you always look fabulous, Terry. Thank you. I really give God all the glory, honey. He's the only reason why I'm able to. But it's been great so far. We recently did a TED Talk, so I was able to incorporate speaking and music and stitching it all together with a symphony, Sons of Maestro, and another group. It was just really, really beautiful. And working on books and just community programs. Swim safety is really a big issue in Florida, so we're trying to do what we can here. And we're doing what we can. Wherever the Lord calling, we going.
Listen, you are my hero. I absolutely love it. You're living proof that you can do a little bit of tie it all in together and have impact. I absolutely love it. And so for today, guys, we are kicking off our segment, Social Media Uncensored. And today we're tackling the topic at the forefront of social media discourse, the cancel culture. Stitches, have you heard about this?
Yes, Terry. Cancel culture has really become a significant phenomenon in our digital age, where pretty much public opinion and social media can swiftly amplify and condemn individuals and institutions. So you're pretty much guilty before proven innocent or anything like that. It raises fundamental questions about justice, accountability, and the power of collective voices. So, and like we said, accountability as well. So how does this affect livelihoods and mental health and truly personal relationships? And what are the broader implications of our culture and social media fabrics? It's a lot to delve into.
It's a lot, and these are vital questions that demand like thoughtful exploration. Like this cancel culture can sometimes blur the lines between accountability and being in judgment, and just challenge us to strike a balance between holding individuals responsible for their actions and also allowing room for education, reconciliation. So, what are your thoughts, Ms. Stitches, on canceling? Like canceling, first of all, that's a rough term, like canceling people, right? Like that's harsh. What are your thoughts about this in general?
Yeah, for sure. And I know I got to go back to it because I am not God, so I can't really cancel anybody, to be honest with you.
But come on, somebody.
I will say accountability, I think, is the more appropriate word, where you can bring light to someone who's probably, I guess, for lack of better terms, gaslighting folks and just putting out information and it's not true, or bringing light to a situation or somebody that has been just flat out telling lies and leading people the wrong way, or just not being truthful, which is telling lies. So I think cancel culture, I'm not for it, to be quite honest with you. I think I'll sway more on the side of what you said, kind of showing a bit more grace, but accountability, I think it is important, because if you're out here thinking you could say, which people do, you can say and do anything you want to, and nobody's going to call you on it or catch you on it, then every single person will be saying any and everything that they want to. And people do it now to a degree, but I think we have a bit more, what's the word? Hold on a minute moment.
Absolutely. And
what would you say?
I love what you said about accountability, because I think that we have to be cognizant about somebody just being blatantly a liar and being malicious, and people who have made bad decisions, used poor judgment, made some mistakes. I mean, if we're completely honest, we all may have had moments in our lives where we didn't make the best decisions, where there's something that we're not really proud of. And so I think that we have to remember that these are people, and that, perception is not always reality. So one thing about everybody having a phone all day long is when something is caught on camera, that's a different story, right? We talked about Diddy a couple episodes ago when things were caught on camera. So that's about accountability, and just everything that happens in the dark comes in the light. Let's just be honest, right? But just being really cognizant and aware of, transparency, accountability, malicious intent, and there's people that maybe made some bad decisions, learned their lesson, and then moved on. And so I think it's crucial for us to consider the human aspect behind the headlines, right? And because behind every canceled figure is a person who is facing public scrutiny, negative reputational damage, and potentially kind of grappling with the consequences for years to come. We even had guests that have talked about like mental health and, just what this does to you long term. And so how should we approach these situations, with empathy, with fairness, even when an influencer or celebrities mess up from Diddy to everybody else, how do you think we should kind of handle this, Stitches?
I think one thing for sure is first, let's find out if it's true or not.
look, that part.
Yeah. I talk about mental health a lot of times because I've known some folks who have been in the spotlight and well known, but what came out was actually a lie. So they're faced with trying to rebuild and reconstruct and redirect themselves and their image and their character because a lie was perpetuated, if you will. So I think the first step is one, before we go ahead and perpetuate something, let's make sure that it's not a lie that we're perpetuating, because we can further dig somebody in a hole that don't even need to be in there.
Yeah, it's the truth. The blessing and the curse with, freedom of speech and just our platforms is that anybody can get on here and say anything. So I think that as a society, we have to just be more responsible about not passing judgment without getting as many of the facts as we can. Look, come on, somebody.
Agreed, Terry. I'm loving this conversation, Terry. So don't move, Connect family, because we've got so much more coming up for you this Saturday. Stay close, because coming up next, we are introducing you to Squad Only, your new favorite podcast, founded by the incredible Stephanie Griffin and Andrea Carter. Yes, honey, it's a whole lot of Black girl magic. All up next. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Is the stigma surrounding mental health holding you back from reaching out? Hi, I'm Marnie Goldman, CEO of Fabulously Flawed. With my lived traumatic experiences and training, I know what it takes to turn challenges into triumphs. We offer personalized empowerment coaching and inspirational speaking to help you break free from the mental health stigmas. Join us at Fabulously Flawed and let's walk the path to resilience together. Visit my website for more information and follow us on social media for your daily dose of motivation.
To Major Impact. Today we are shining a spotlight on our favorite podcast called SquadOnly, founded by the visionaries Stephanie Griffin and Andrea Carter. Welcome to the show, ladies. We are excited to have you.
Hey, girl, hey.
Girl, hey.
Listen, I love the energy already. So Andrea and Stephanie, SquadOnly sounds incredible. Can you tell us more about how you came up with the idea and what inspired you to create this platform?
Wow. I mean, thank you for having us. This goes back to like middle school. So I'm going to transport you just a little bit. If you remember in middle school, you had your crew, you walked down the hallway with your lockers on the left and you see the boys on the right, and you had that crew by you. We have known each other since middle school. And there's a couple of us that have known each other since like elementary. So we go way, way back. And so that was the squad. So we're just 2 of like 6 and 7 of us. And we have been true since that day. We wanted to have something to where we could create that for others, because it's now we're 45, 46 years old, and we have been true since that day in middle school, walking down the hallway. And so that was the origination of the squad. And so we knew we wanted to recreate that same feeling. There was also, and I'll turn it to Stephanie too, because there was also this other feeling we had of being and experiencing life together. And I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about from the first job, from the first man, from the first breakup to the first miscarriage. We're going to go there. All the things that you experience in life, we experience life together, and we wanted others to feel it too, right? Even so much where you were at a slumber party and you had your best kept secrets, or you stayed up all night talking. That's squad only. And everybody has a squad. You may not have that 1 or 2, but we wanted you to be a part of. And that's how Squad Only started.
It did. I was an expatriate. I lived overseas at the time. And, Black Girl Magic, you're in a different space. You're in Asia, you're in Australia, you're in all these places, but you need your sister friends. And thanks to technology, we were able to keep in touch and chat and share voice messages. And we were able to keep conversations going. We would end it with me at my evening, and she would pick up when she could in her morning. And it was just, you felt connected. You felt like you were still doing life together. And so we always had that energy and that vibe to stay connected and to keep each other, no matter where you were. If you were friendly in Indonesia, like I was at one point. And then how it really took off, we had a slumber party at my house. It was another going away party. We were moving, and we had a house full of girls, 18 women, different backgrounds, different nationalities, different personalities. And we started this little group chat of how I knew all these ladies and how they had impacted my life. And then y'all, they showed up and we showed out at one weekend. It was air mattresses all over the house. We did a crawfish boil. We had a naturopath come and give us insight on suggestions for your kids and mental health. We had the ice cream truck. We had an adult toy star come and teach us some things. It was just such a wonderful weekend. And people left like, what about that Jubilee? Or what about your friend such and such? And people made connections in a short time. And we knew there was such value in that. And we had everyone from, a doctor, a lawyer, a stay-at-home mom, a partner for firms. And we just connected. And we said, there's some value in this. Yeah. So it took us probably 3 years to challenge each other and say, we need to do something with this. We need to do something right now. We are on to something special. How do we bottle this and create that for women everywhere to have a connection to a squad? And that's how it was born. Squad Only.
I'm mad I wasn't at the summer party. That sounds so fun.
Yes.
It was. And we plan to recreate that vibe city to city. We plan to take it over.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that story, ladies. And in your community, you emphasize creating a safe space for real support and sharing opinions. So how do you ensure that everyone feels heard and valued in such a dynamic environment? You're talking about 18 women or less. You might have some who are louder or, more timid than others. How do you ensure that everyone is really valued and heard?
Well, the key to our spicy sauce to this all is we, in the midst of it, created an app at the same time. So we spent some time with a techie group to say, how do we make that vibe and make it virtual? Because we know that's where people need it. Whether you took a job in Timbuktu and you need some girls, how do we connect to that and still feel relevant? So that's what the app is going to help us do. It's almost finished. We're about to do beta testing now. So we have people signing up to try it out. But what it does, it allows us, let's say, for example, what we're doing right now. If someone is vibing or feeling a moment right here, the app allows you to emoji, make a comment, leave a voice note, leave a video, and leave it right there at that point of contention. And so later, let's say you live in Australia on a different time zone. You want to say, what were the girls up to today? What were they talking about? There's a graph in the app to show you the moment or the point where people were really talking, and you jump right in and feel relevant. So it doesn't feel like it's late tea or it's tepid tea. This is real in the moment. Use your voice, speak what you need to do in a safe space, right? We have a bit of a background check. We have a safe space and environment for people to be themselves. We all know sometimes you need to let your hair down. You may not know who you're talking to on a Facebook group, but in this space, because it's subscription based, you can be yourself.
And how it's different in the sense you can be out there and trolled in the other social media sites, as we know. Within the technology, we use AI to our benefit, where it's going to recognize the conversations and the topics and the things that you enjoy and that you are in your life at the moment. Maybe you didn't have a child this year, but maybe you have a child in another couple of years, right? It's going to recognize that, and it's going to protect you within that space and make sure any commentary is kind of rejected. So more to come. That is patent pending. We're very excited about that app.
Patent pending. I love that.
Yes, I love the innovation you bought. It's like taking group chat and Facebook and Patreon and subscription memberships and putting it all just on steroids, taking it to a whole nother level. So I love that innovation. So ladies, what is the most rewarding part of the podcast Squad Only? Because from divorce to miscarriages, this is a conversation that's open. So it can be light and fun, but it can also be probably heavy and supportive. And so what can viewers expect to hear when they kind of participate in this?
They will expect to hear realness and light and authenticity. We have titles. We're all, as Stephanie mentioned, we all have our respective careers and titles, and all that is checked at the door. And so part of what Squad is that you can live every single day going through. We talked about mental health and some of the other episodes and things like that. It's a real thing. And so what Squad Only actually supports around others that are going through the exact same thing in the moment at that particular point in time. There's so many things that, my day was going through this, or I had a hell of a day. You can pick up the app, you can pick up Squad Only, and in that moment, be like, girl, let me tell you what just happened to me, right? It is right there in living life together. And so it is a space for people, the average woman, right? The one that has gone through. And if you haven't gone through, it may be coming through, right? And the celebration moments, and not just the hardships, but just experiencing life together. That is the most rewarding piece, because we've experienced it and we want others to experience it too. We experience it right here and now, right? But I can easily be able to pick up Squad Only any day of the week, and then it'll automatically come back for me and be like, look, this is what you need today.
Wow.
I love that. Thank you, ladies. It feels like home. It feels like love. And I know, and girl, I know that's your girl. Well, you got to say it right. And girl, I know that's your hashtag. Girl, what tips do you have for women that don't yet really have their squad, but are searching for that squad that's really going to really give what you guys are giving? How do they find that?
Follow us. You can follow us right now. We're on Spotify. And we've already been kicking it off the conversation. We challenge each other to just keep it real. And from the feedback we've gotten from followers, it is that, girl, you really touched on something for me. We had an episode on bringing your sexy back. And the amount of women from 15 up to 70 were like, you know what, I can be sexy too. I feel a part of this conversation. So we're challenging you. We're also a bit of an accountability partner, because Andrea and I have kept it real with each other that's what makes us different. It's not just a discussion or a topic, but you can see yourself in that discussion. You can see yourself growing. And the point of the app is to be able to challenge you, to be able to share, give your input, ask for input, and be able to hold each other accountable, no matter what your age, no matter what your creed, no matter what you live, because we know for sure there's that underlying thread for all women. We are all going through a lot of the same stuff, and we want to create that space where if you're 70 and you've been through 3 marriages, divorce, and all that, reach out and speak to this girl who's 30, who is just starting her, because how much time and space can we save her, just by sharing your experience?
Correct.
So we know there's value there in that village.
Yes, and that is so good. So what should women look for in their squad, right? You ladies are blessed that you have been able to grow throughout the years, but if there's somebody who doesn't maybe have that support, that community, what are some non-negotiables even when building as adult women trying to find your squad?
Listen, we have talked about that, because not everybody is squad. Let's put that out there too, right? And then there are sometimes we're a squad for a point in time in your life, right? We've talked about relationships that have come and gone, some that have resurfaced over 10, 20 years, like, where's she been, right? And the same thing where we had to step aside, right? So what should they look for? What should women look for? You look for, again, we talked about the realness, right? That authenticity around that person being genuine in terms of what they are going through, and keeping it real, right? We don't do surface level. We don't do sometiminess. We don't do any of that, right? This is not the place. That is the case, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is the camaraderie, and again, the upliftment, right? We talk about, even the Word of God talks about, listen, man should not be alone, right? There's 2 or 3 are gathered. You look for that, right? You look for the ones to kind of be there with you when you have your lows and your highs. So that's just a couple of them. Stephanie, we can go on and on, but that's just a couple. You got one?
I think it's just that there is a time and a place for everything. There are friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends from a lifetime, and you need to reclassify often. You need to recheck and decide, why is she in this space? Does she need to be in that space? Do I value this relationship? So it's the reevaluating often.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I like that. Thank you. And I remember hearing this one time, as far as, and I don't know if you ladies can agree with this, it's not so much the time, but the quality. You may have known somebody for 20 years, but the quality of that relationship versus somebody that you may have met for a year, but the quality of it is not matching the time. So it's not always concentrated on the time, but more the quality of it, right?
Absolutely.
Agreed. It's quality, and it's also accepting a heart connection, no matter what it may look like. That woman may have spoke a different language. She may have a totally different upbringing than you. But if there is something there that you all have that's valuable, you nurture that. And those relationships that you feel like are important, you will groom them, you will grow them, and they will become more for you, and you're able to share and be yourself. So that's the other thing. We keep it real. We keep it 100. Because why there's no time. There's no time for that.
Come on.
There's no time.
I'm not gonna lie. I love it.
And everybody talks about life is short. I get tired of hearing life is short. You know, listen, it's time to live now. So I'm in agreement with you, and it's just something we have to do, and that's squad only.
Squad only. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie. I ask God every squad member, is this good or no good? They good or no good, honey? Check me. So I'm curious, ladies, with your apps going on, how you have been able to take this squad only, turn it into app, turn it into all the things and gatherings. I'm curious about the upcoming events. I know you have some things happening. You mentioned some meetups with like-minded individuals. Can you give us just like a little sneak peek of what events you have coming up? Tell us what you got coming up.
Sneak peek. In addition to the launch of the app that we talked about, we've got some pilots going on and some feedback that we want to hear from you on the app, because we want to customize it and continue to make it better. But the meetups, right? Again, recreation of those moments that we have when we come together. There will be also some exclusive events where we actually will be on site. So not in a screen. We want to be on site with you, in present with you. And it may be posted up at a bar. It may be posted up, in a backyard at a pool site, right? It is where we live life. Stephanie, you got one more, I know.
It's doing life together, and it's challenging each other. So it may be, we're not going to give it all away, but it'll be recreating that slumber party we talked about, where some things that'll challenge you a little bit, that'll take you out of your comfort zone a little bit. It may be learning, improving your golf swing. You may say, I've never swung a golf club. Well, guess what? 5 of the ladies in your city at this meetup have. Bring yourself home. Let's get it.
I absolutely love it. And let me tell you why this is so important, because so many times it's like, women that go to a women are catty, or we're, always competing against each other. But you ladies are, perpetuating and talking about the reverse. Let's build camaraderie and collaboration and sisterhood. This is so neat. It's a healthy way for us to have community. So before you go, Andrea, Stephanie, what is the most rewarding part of building Squad Only and seeing the impact it has had on women who are part of your community? Tell us, ladies.
It's got to be, for me, the gratification is knowing in life when you can celebrate each other, when you see the other side in somebody's journey. I've got 4 children. Yes, I got 4, but that I can see someone else that has someone that graduated from college, right? And I can support it, and I was a part of that journey. So that's mine, is supporting others and challenging me to be a better self.
Yeah, for me, it's remembering to be authentic, because you never know who's watching. I had a friend who shared, and she was going through a miscarriage, and went through a hysterectomy and couldn't be a mom in that sense. But because we have been able to share, she said, I probably couldn't have listened to that episode when I was initially going through, but right now, she said, girl, I needed that. Thank you so much for being yourself and for sharing. So it's the reminder, live life out loud. We never know who's watching. Keep it real, because if you're surface, you may have missed somebody who you could have been a blessing to. So that, to me, is the most rewarding, is we're being rewarded for being ourselves and knowing that there is a space for us, and that we had a bigger purpose to get out here and share our story and share our experience and create something for the girls. We forget,
Hashtag girl. Hashtag girl. Thank you, ladies, for sharing such inspiring insights about Squad Only. Once again, remind us, how can we keep up with all the incredible things that you have, and also the podcast and app? Tell us all the things one more time.
We're currently on Spotify, You can find us under SquadOnly. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at _SquadOnly. And our website is squadonly.net.
And that app is coming soon, so you got to follow in order to get invited to it. So,
I love it. It's your new favorite podcast, SquadOnly. Tap, tap, tap. That deserves a tap,
yes.
tap, tap.
Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing. This is inspiring. We cannot wait for the app to come out. We absolutely love it. And so stay tuned, everybody. We will be right back.
I'm Jessica Cherry, founder of the award-winning blog Life of a Cherry Wife. If you're looking to follow for mom and lifestyle content, fashion, Latina life, and good vibes, this is the place for you. Head over to www.lifeofacherrywife.com for the latest in these areas. Follow me on social at Life of a Cherry Wife.
I'm Kate McGuire, the founder of Converted Closet on Instagram. And if you like original clothes and would like to get the most out of your wardrobe, follow me for inspiration on Instagram and I'll show you how. You'll never look back. You're watching the Connect Network TV.
Hey, beautiful people, it's Major, Mr. This is why I love you. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
Welcome back to Major Impact on the Connect Network TV right here on the CW. And we really hope that you enjoyed today's show. And thank you to everybody for pulling up. And remember, y'all, SquadOnly, everywhere you get your podcast of Stitches. Where can our viewers find you and keep up with everything you have going on, Queen?
I appreciate you, sis. You can follow me at STICHIZ Stitches, all social media platforms, and tap in iHeartRadio on different radio stations across the United States. And just follow me. Stay tapped in. Connect, baby. How can they tap in with you, Terry?
Yes, so you can find me the most on YouTube, Terry Calder, the credit expert, where I focus on helping entrepreneurs and people all across the USA leverage their personal and business credit to build wealth, not to get into a bunch of debt, y'all.
Come on. Wealth
Come on.
is health. Health is wealth. Wealth is health. Let's go. And remember, Connect Fam, you can enjoy past episodes Netflix style at our website. Just hop on over right now, connectonline.com. Enjoy, engage, tell somebody you love them while they can hear it and receive it. God bless you. Love you for free. Oh, that's the dance for today?
Yeah.
You're watching the Connect Network TV on the CW.